know how to introduce this video, so I feel like we should just dive right in. I think there are a lot of mothers in my audience, and I think it's a very interesting topic. And by the way, I'm going to start introducing these type of random, you could say random videos on my channel just for us to talk and chit chat and react to, because I don't know, there's a lot going on in the world, and I feel like we can really talk about things that are a little bit deeper than hair. Plus, we are moving away from hair anyway. I have to give a shout out to my brother. He actually got me to create this 4C hair news video like maybe a year or so ago. Ever since then, he's been pushing me to, first of all, get out of the hair bubble and really show more of my personality, my thought processes, commentary, if you will. And I've been in my shell a little bit, but we're coming out. We're doing it. So shout out to you, Vlad, for pushing me. And he's seen the vision as to where I could take my channel before I saw it. We love big brothers, right? Anyway, so this particular video is around parenting. And you know what? Let's just dive right in. And by the way, you know what? Maybe I should have a little disclaimer. Like I said, my brother's been feeding me videos, and some of them I'm like, oh, I could react to this. Others I'm like, oh, I don't know if I really want to touch this. And I didn't really know about this woman until my brother sent me a video, and it was around like birth control, maybe like a few years ago. And back then she was hosting the comment section. Apparently there was a whole fallout. I don't really know. But in any case, I felt like I was introduced to this whole world of the left and the right and the this and the that and like almost politics. And I was just like, I feel like I just walked into a room and I don't really know what's going on. It made me realize how growing up they tell you, they'll talk about politics, they'll talk about religion. And then you grow up and people will tell you, how come you don't know about the left and the right and the this and the that and who's in power and what's going on in politics? And you're like, well, didn't y'all tell me not to talk about it? Anyways, I felt like I was introduced to a whole new world, and I don't really know too much about her, so don't come for me. But I thought this video was interesting because you're speaking from a parenting perspective. And as you know, I have 2 babies, and I'm very much in my helicopter mom era. If I can't see you, where are my babies? Where are my babies? You know what I mean? Like, I have eyes in the back of my head now. I have eyes on the side of my face because I need to have eyes on my babies at all times because this world is crazy, right? Okay, now insert this video.
So this might be crazy to think about in 2025 considering everything that we have heard about New York City and the subway system, but when I was a kid and I was...
What happened in New York City and the subway system? You know, this is what I mean. I feel like I just be walking into conversations that were taking place and I just didn't even know about them. You just walk into a room and you're like, let me hang out and see what's going on in here. But I feel like I'm gonna see myself out. But anyway.
I was in New York visiting my family who has lived there for 30 years. When I was auditioning, doing acting classes and dance classes, I would very frequently ride the subway alone. And this is not the only thing that I did independently as a kid. My mom was 100% committed to raising independent, resilient kids, and that started with doing things alone confidently. But apparently...
Okay, pause. Pause. I've only been in New York once. Okay. And I don't know what age we're talking about, but I felt like the subway was a lot. So I can only imagine a child. And you know, you see these videos all the time of whatever's going down in the subways. And I guess maybe they're happening after dark, maybe like at night, but I don't know. You know what? Just hearing her say that, I feel like my palm is getting sweaty. I don't know what age my child will have to be for me to just let them ride the subway in New York City alone. But then again, I'm not a New Yorker, so I don't know.
That is very controversial. So a recent story about a father being arrested for leaving his 3 children at a local McDonald's has blown the entire helicopter parenting debate into the limelight in a major way on social media, which also perfectly coincides with a movement that author and psychologist Jonathan Haidt has been pushing in a debate that my friend Alex Clark has literally been having on her own social media this week.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is it just me? I feel like she's throwing a major word salad at me. It's just like words, or just Is it just me? Like, how do you speak so fast? Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's watch the video.
Questions that we need to dive into today are: how much freedom do young children actually need? How much is too dangerous? And why are modern parents so damn afraid of childhood independence? All right, so you guys might have seen this story already because it went mega viral last week on X, but basically this huge story broke on X last week after a father in Augusta, Georgia was arrested for allegedly leaving his 3 children alone at a McDonald's while he attended a job interview nearby. One headline from Everything Georgia reads, a 24-year-old Augusta man was arrested for leaving his children, ages 1, 6, and 10, alone at a McDonald's while he attended a nearby job interview.
1, 6, and 10. Okay. Oh, the thoughts in my mind. I'm thinking of the 1-year-old, but I guess the 10-year-old may be a mature 10-year-old, right? And if he's going to a job interview across the street, I don't know. No, my heart. My babies, I need to have eyes on them at all times. And I don't know if it's modern parents. Is that a thing? Because I'm pretty sure my mother has instilled in us the fact that the world is a very unsafe place, okay? My mom was always like, stay close to me. In the grocery store, we couldn't even walk down the aisle. No. We had to be close to her. We had to be holding her skirt at all times. So it's not modern parents, okay? I feel like it's a matter of safety. And perhaps, maybe it depends on where you're from, right? Because I grew up in Haiti and it was always this conversation around safety with reasons, but it was always a conversation around safety. Make sure that they're not going to kidnap you. So my mom always had to have eyes on us at all times. So now I have eyes on my babies at all times too. 1, 6, and 10-year-old. Oh, that's a lot. I'm getting hot.
And this story alone broke open a whole debate about childhood independence and autonomy and the changing trends between generations, because for a lot of people, they saw this as completely normal and permissible based on their own childhoods. For example, my friend Hannah Cox, who was actually my boss when I was writing at the Foundation for Economic Education, she tweeted and said, "Helicopter parenting culture has to end. This is insane. A 10-year-old looking after their siblings in a safe space for a short period of time while their parent does something next door was normal like 30 years ago." Another person said, "A 10-year-old is absolutely capable of watching their 6 and 1-year-old siblings for an hour in a safe public space. This man did nothing wrong. Safetyism is destroying society." And guys, based on this, I completely agree. Like, I think back to my childhood, which really wasn't that long ago, and at 10 years old, I had just gotten my Red Cross babysitter certification. I knew CPR, I was actively working as a babysitter and a mother's helper, I was doing pet sitting, I was doing little like gardening tasks for people, I was working as an actor, like I was very independent already at 10 years old. It was totally normal for me to go over to somebody's house and take care of their 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old kids. I would go into stores alone, I would shop alone. By age 10 or 11, I probably had already flown as an unaccompanied minor on an airplane by that age. But apparently, a lot of people online had had very similar experiences. So again, this became a broader conversation about not just parenting, but also how our society and how law enforcement encourages and supports, or does not support, that kind of independence. And so people immediately rallied behind this father, saying this is completely out of line, this is ridiculous. Antonio Brown, the former NFL player, he even created a huge GoFundMe for him, which has now amassed over $70,000 that have been donated. You can see it.
Oh my God, what? I'm in the wrong field? Maybe I should just leave my kids out of McDonald's and get a GoFundMe open for me? Like, excuse me. Okay, you know what? I'm all for childhood independence. I'm all for teaching your kids to become mature. I do agree with the fact that if you want your kids to learn things, you have to let them do the things. Like I see with my 2-year-old right now, she's putting her little shoes on, she puts her jackets on because we let her do these things. I agree with that. But at the same time, I think it's important to be mindful of the society that we live in. Maybe 30 years ago, it was acceptable, but I don't know if it's really safe now. At least that's what they put onto us. Okay, the conversation is always about make sure that your kids are safe, make sure that you don't leave them anywhere. You can't just leave your kids playing in front of your house. That's the message that I get every single day around being a good parent. You have to make sure that your kids are safe. It's on you, right? So I don't really know the conversation around just letting them do whatever they want to do, freely roam this world, because this world is also crazy at the same time, right? Is it just me? It can't just be me. We're not gonna watch this full video, by the way, because it's like 30 minutes.
$76,000 as of this morning. And to me, looking at all of this, this seemed like it was just amazing. Like, this seemed like a rousing, unifying cry across our society. Like, people, regardless of their political affiliation and their background or their age, they were standing up for this man. And more importantly, we're standing up against a culture of safetyism. And I still think the root of this story is, however, there has been a major plot twist. It was very Shakespearean in nature, which you would know if you had taken one of my favorite Peterson Academy courses. And now, it seems like the story isn't exactly what we were presented with. So Outkick reported in their article, according to the report from Louis C. Blanchard of the Sheriff's Department, Chris Lewis, who's the father, quote, was not engaged in a job interview or application process during the time that the children were left unattended. Furthermore, by his own admission, he was walking between McDonald's and the Hendricks apartments on foot during that period. The distance between these two locations is approximately 0.4 miles. And so now, based on all of these new facts and what is being presented to us in this police report, a lot of people are suspicious that, no, this was not some kind of, job application, going an interview, trying to make a better life for your kids, but that actually it might have been some kind of drug deal because the kids themselves told the cops that their dad had to go deliver a backpack to somebody. They don't know what was in the backpack, but he was in pursuit of delivering this random bag. But more importantly than even that and what the dad was doing, according to the children, they were often left alone. This was a very frequent thing. This was not a one-time thing. This is something that happened normally in their family. Now, all of this information is actively coming out. I'm filming this episode on a Thursday. It's going to be edited. We're going to be releasing it on a Monday. I am sure that we will have updates even then. Maybe I'll even do one of my selfie updates if there's something crazy that comes out. But again, the facts are still rolling out, and so Antonio Brown has decided that he is going to keep the GoFundMe up until all of these facts come out. He has also said that he has spoken with the family and the mother of these children. They have apparently been homeless since last year. He's working through what is true, what is not, if he still wants to give the money to the family, because obviously people are wanting to support them, which I completely respect. I think that that is the right thing to do. Now back to the main point here, because this episode really isn't about this father specifically. Even though this story isn't exactly what many people believed it to be, the conversation that arose from it is still vitally important, in my opinion. And as I said earlier, it lined up with a broader discourse that was already happening online. And the reason why all of that was happening this week is because last week was the 1-year anniversary of Jonathan Haidt's incredibly important book, Anxious Generation, which actually I have on the shelf. Where is it? Oh, right there, it's under my hat. Basically, this book dissects all the reasons why the younger generations are so stunted, which, shock of the century, is partially due to this helicopter parenting and the lack of independence that we are talking about today. The fact that these children were so sheltered and that independence and autonomy was never fostered in the home. And because he has been celebrating the anniversary of the release and trying to bring this conversation back into the limelight, he actually posted about that point just a couple of days ago. Take a listen.
What we did in America was, so, you and I grew up during a crime wave. There was a big crime wave in the 70s and 80s, and it started in the 60s. And so there was actually danger of crime, but we still played outside. Kids went outside, 2nd, 3rd grade, you're out with your friends, biking around your town, you can buy candy, whatever, you're out on your own. You learn to function, you learn autonomy, you learn to be a person. And in the 90s, the crime wave ends, but yet we freak out about child abduction. And we say, oh, you can't go outside anymore because you'll be abducted.
Jonathan Haidt is making an incredibly important point here. And
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm taking all that in, but in my mind, I'm just like, is this still not happening? Isn't there news right and left or some child being abducted or who knows what happened to them? Little Billy went missing, whatever. Isn't that still happening? Because I feel like it's still happening. And again, like I said, maybe it depends on where you grew up, because I grew up in Haiti and this is still happening in Haiti where children are going missing or someone will abduct your child and never to be seen again. I'm not going to take that risk. And you know what? I think we can still raise independent children, letting them be independent in the confinement of our home. How about that, right? I mean, I'm teaching my children to be independent here. They're learning all the things. I'm letting them do the things. If we go outside, I'm not going to have them hold on to my skirt the entire time, but I need to have eyes on you the entire time. Like letting you go into McDonald's and getting whatever you need, you're going to have to prove to me that you're mature enough to be able to do these things. And I don't mind allowing my kids to do things, but I need to be able to gauge that, right? Call me a helicopter parent if you want to, but I would rather have my child safe versus trying to listen to people on the internet and the next thing you know, my child is missing. I will not allow it.
Directs people to chapters 2 and 3 of his book, which completely focus on childhood independence and the importance of risky play, as he calls it. Now, even though he has been promoting the book on his own social media and talking about this over the last couple of weeks, what has really taken off online is something that his organization called Let Grow created. And that would be the Independence Challenge, where basically he encourages parents to put their kids in situations where they have to do something alone. And he has been sharing all the parents who are doing this on his social media, and they have been going incredibly viral. Here's an example.
I'm getting donuts by myself and it's 6.
Okay, so here's the card. So how many donuts?
6.
And you're gonna tell them which ones you want?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you have a question, if you get confused, just say, oh, can you help me? You ask the person to help you, but I think you'll be fine. See, you got it?
Yeah.
All right, here she goes. You just sent Abby into the donut shop.
Oh my God.
She just turned 7.
Abby, no.
Yeah.
We're doing the
Don't do it, Abby.
Jonathan Haidt independent challenges. We do
Who's
those.
Jonathan Haidt?
We do those sometimes. We were inspired by the Chick-fil-A video the other day, and so we're doing it. Here she comes.
Oh, she did it!
You did it!
I mostly got round donuts, but one is for Jacob.
And my favorite part of this entire video is the mother's confidence. Like, she has become so accustomed to doing this with her son. Her daughter is completely comfortable because the mom's saying, you've got this. You have all the tools you need. You're gonna be great. Go on in. The girl just marches right in there. That is incredible.
Okay, it is incredible. I agree. I think it's wonderful that she did it. But had she gone missing, would Jonathan come and help? Would Jonathan go and look for her? I'm sorry, Jonathan. I know you want to I know you want to see more independent and less anxious children in this world. Yes, but at the same time, I just don't know if I want my child to be the guinea pig of your experiment. Because if she goes missing, where's Jonathan gonna be at? I'm just saying. But that was cute. That was cute, you know? It did warm my heart a little bit. And again, maybe it goes down to the maturity of your child. Like, you're going to do these things with them over and over. You're going to teach them how to do these things. So that's valid. And then you'll have the confidence that they can do these things. But I still need to have eyes in the back of my head to see what you're doing. I still need to like peep in the window or something, just in case. Just seeing that makes me a little nervous, just letting my child just go in the store to get donuts. We don't need donuts that bad. We do not need donuts that bad. I don't think so.
About the types of kids that are in schools these days. You know, you watch the videos of teachers who are saying, oh my God, Gen Alpha is just so awful. They can't communicate. They can't express their emotions. They can't do anything independently. Like, please, parents, help us. This is one of the things that you need to do.
Isn't that a deeper issue though? Like, Gen Alpha not being able to communicate, and also I think these kids are just not communicating with their parents at home. For example, I watched a video the other day where they were saying Gen Z, they don't want to read to their children. Like, it's a chore for them. They don't like it. The child wants to read the same book over and over, so they don't want to do it. And it's like, that's part of the development of your child, and you just don't want to do it out of inconvenience for you. So there's probably a bigger thing at play versus letting your child roam free in these streets to get donuts. And I mean, I get it, but I don't. Okay? I get it, but I don't. Like, I understand the importance of allowing your kids to be independent and teaching them independence. Yes, but at the same time, I just feel like I also understand the world that we live in, or at the very least the narrative that they feed to me, that it's unsafe. And I want my child to be safe.
To make them feel comfortable being away from you, being adept, it's so incredible. Now, in this video, they also referenced a Chick-fil-A video. That was the first one that really went viral last week, so let's watch that one as well. He's so little.
I just read Anxious Generation, and at the end they have this challenge where they're like, we challenge you to like let your kid do something that without a parent. The worst part is I can't watch, because I can see, like, if he was gonna go do something confidently, I was in there, I could see him ordering, or even if the blinds weren't shut and I could just peek in and see him, like, okay, he's next in line, he's got this. No. Oh my gosh, he did it.
He's so little.
Hey.
I didn't have to ask the manager or anything.
Really?
He just gave it to me, yeah.
They just served you?
Yeah. And then, yeah.
You got your Happy Meal, and
It's so awesome.
He gave me some money.
And you can literally see the kids when they come back. They're so excited.
That is very true. So when I let my daughter do things and like she does it on her own, maybe it's something big for her, I see the pride in her eyes. I see how prideful she is of herself for doing it. And I'm always like, obviously cheering her on, like, you can do it, baby. But letting her go get Chick-fil-A, we're miles away from there. I still need to have eyes on you all the time. So on the one hand, they were telling you to obviously let your child be in this world so that they're not anxious or they grow up and be independent. All good attributes, actually. But on the other hand, there's the other narrative where they're like, this world is unsafe. And my sister-in-law actually sent me a video, which I couldn't find it, but I asked her to send it again, and I don't think she could find it because the video that she sent me didn't look familiar. But we're going to play it because it's still very important. It relates to this.
Phenomenon is called digital kidnapping, and yes, it is as scary as it sounds. As parents, we love to take photos of our kids and post them. It's a great way to keep our family and friends in the loop. But now experts are issuing this new alert that bad guys are using our posts against us to track our children. This morning, you're about to see how they do it.
they're baby catching.
From Facebook to Instagram, parents sharing their children's lives online. But now the new world's crime, digital kidnapping. Predators stealing your kids' photos and spreading them online. This stranger posting on Facebook claiming this girl was his daughter. In another recent case, a child's photo was tagged on a porn site. Turns out, most of us are putting our own families at risk, and we have no idea. You post all the time.
Yeah, I like to post about the kids.
That's Michelle and Reese. They think we're doing a general story about social media. What they don't know? Back in Ohio, cyber safety expert Jesse Weinberger is poring over their social media pages, checking for private information. So what do you find here?
Through Mom's Facebook account and everything that she's posted, I was able to find out husband's name, children's names. She has 2 children. I know their ages. I know their dates of birth. I know where they go to school. I have the address of the school. I have the name of the teacher. I know exactly which playgrounds they visit, how often they like to go to each playground.
You were showing me a map where you're actually able to find out the path they take to school, how they walk and when.
Right. It wasn't hard.
But even scarier, she says our photos can have a hidden location signature embedded in them. Even if you don't tag the location, anyone can still find out where you are. What's the danger here?
For example, I know that one of her children broke his leg. How easy would it for me to be to come up to the kid and say, oh, you don't remember me, but I was the nurse when you came to the emergency room. How's your leg feeling?
Come with me.
Come with me. The way he said that, I don't mean to laugh, but the way he said, come with me. You see what I mean? On one hand, they're like, let your child go to Chick-fil-A and get donuts. And then on the other hand, they are digitally kidnapping your children. And we all know we shouldn't be sharing our children's pictures on the internet. And you know, I did at first for my babies, but I definitely reeled it back significantly, especially being exposed to videos like this where you're like, I don't want to risk it. Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe it's going to be okay. But at the same time, I have a big social media following. I don't want to risk it. Does that make me a helicopter mom? So be it. But I'd rather keep my children safe than having them lollygagging in this world getting donuts. We don't want donuts that badly. Well, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you do with your children? Are you team let them be independent, let them go and play outside, especially depending on the age and I guess their maturity level? Like, I'm not going to say I'm against that entirely, but you'll have to prove to me that you can act right, okay? That you have some sense. And obviously I'm teaching my kids to have some sense and to act right, but I don't know how comfortable I am to let my child ride the subway in New York City. What? Absolutely not. We have Subway at home. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. And let me know if you are enjoying this type of videos because I plan on making a whole lot of them. All right, bye.